Now, I want you to imagine yourself being tortured every day, neglected, and defenseless, where you're unable to protect yourself from harm. How do you feel? You will feel fear, helplessness, and depressed, am I right? Do you know that this is what, for an animal that experienced abuse, has to go through in their daily life? Have you heard about an accident? A man shooting a dog with an arrow and killing it in Alustakda. How do you feel when you hear about this? Do you feel mad at the guy who shot the arrow? Do you feel upset of what he did? If yes, that means there still humanity exists among us. If you don't see a problem torturing a living being, then you should make an appointment with a psychiatrist. Animal abuse is a serious issue because it causes harm to a living being with feelings. The abused animal is most likely helpless and has no idea why their owner is torturing them. They cannot tell anyone what's going on and they cannot do much to stop about it. Animal is not an object. They are living things like us human. Today, I would love to persuade each and every one of you on why animal abuse should stop. Animal abuse. Animal abuse is a violent act which are cruel and inhuman. According to Malaysia Veterinary Services Department (DVS), the number of recorded animal abuse increased nationwide by 30% in 2018 from 510 to 662. Dogs and cats were involved in more than 90% of these incidents. In September 2018, a man was sentenced to 2 years in prison for killing a pregnant cat at a laundromat. According to reports, the manager of the laundromat received a phone call from a customer informing him that a cat carcass had been discovered inside one of the dryers. Two men were captured on CCTV. At the laundromat, one man has been seen removing a cat from under a table and putting it in a dryer. Domestic violence is strongly linked to animal abuse. Victims, dogs and cats, are frequently used as pawns by abusers to dominate and control them. Animal abuse causes emotional distress, physical pain, and illness or even death. This is truly heartbreaking. Once we accept the horrific treatment of one animal, it will become easier to turn a blind eye when other animals of different species are also harmed. When an animal is abused, it sets off a chain reaction in our community. Not only is there an innocent animal wounded, but the perpetrator frequently falls into a cycle that may eventually cause violence towards other people. The evidence linking abuse to animals and violence against humans is compelling. In fact, animal abuse are 5 times more likely to commit a violent crime. I'm sure you can see that animal abuse is actually a concerning issue, but you might be asking, well, how can I stop this animal abuse? The violence against animal abuse does not end unless we take an action. Teach children how to properly care for animals. First, helping children learn how to be responsible with their animals. It's easier to teach them when they are young because it will be much more effective to actively support for animal rights as adults. Next, you can adopt an animal. Foster care save life. If you know a person who cannot care for their animals, recommend taking them in if you have enough funds or budget. Shelters have always been looking for foster parents to care for abandoned kittens, scared dogs, and other animals in need of extra attention. Finally, use your voice. Speak up if you have witnessed an animals being abused. Furthermore, the majority of us use one of more social media platforms. Follow and share posts from local shelter for animals and protection organizations on social media. You can speak against such animals abuse in your society. Continuing to support strict legislation, providing education about how to properly care for animal life, and providing information suspected abuse of animals are all critical steps to putting an end to brutality. We might not be able to save all of them. However, we owe it to the animals to give it our best shot. Dogs and cats are not the only animals that are abused. In Payaturubong, Penang, 9 monkeys were discovered dead from poisoning. It is suspected that the monkey were fed poisoned bread. According to Veterinary Services Department (DVS) Enforcement Division Director Zaharinan Abdul Aziz, as of September 2021, the department received 276 complaints in 13 categories of animal abuse and neglect. All animals are capable of suffering in the same exact way and with the same extent as humans. This is comparable to asking why child abuse is cruel. An animal is relying on humans to provide food, shelter, and guidance. Abuse occurs when the first two needs are not met. It would be similar if you were talking about a child with the same needs and is dependent on his or her parents to fulfill them. Can you imagine what will happen if we don't stop animal abuse? Well, let me tell you, the most common harm caused by animal abuse is the animal pain and suffering. Contrary to popular belief, which is happy ending, in cases for animals abuse are very uncommon. The abuse is frequently horrific, and victims, which is animals, are rarely recovered to a healthy life or accepted by a caring family. Severe condition and a lack of socialization, especially in hoarding cases, causes health and mental issues that may cause animal adoptable and at risk of euthanasia, which is ending the life of the animal to relieve the suffering. Animals' rights would reduce the misery of millions of animals because humans will not be in a position to exploit and abuse them. Animals do not exist to serve humans, but rather to protect their own life and needs to believe. To believe animal as less moral than human is an irrelevant comparison based on human exceptionalism. By now, you should already know why animal abuse is a growing problem that needs to be addressed as soon as possible. This is undoubtedly a very troubling issue. As a conclusion, animals are a natural creature. If people can inflict harm on something as harmless as animal, it is likely that they will do so on somebody of their own species. By killing animals, the species may become extinct. However, if we don't stop this animal abuse, the species will grow and avoid extinction. You can help save an animal suffering by voluntary work and signing a petition. Animals' rights activities strongly support for the right of animals to lead their life as they believe best suited, free of harmful human involvement. Thank you.